Greetings to you viewers from across the globe. You're welcome to the show, Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Odiawa AI, for Veegil Media. It's been a race for the number one seat in each state, from Kogi State, the Lugard House, or Imo State, the Douglas House, and also the Gloryland State, Bayelsa, which will actually be our theme of discussion today. It's been squabble and rancor between the major political parties in Bayelsa State, which are actually contending for the number one seat. Not that other political parties are not relevant. We're talking about the APC and the PDP. Now, flag bearers under these platforms have been at loggerheads, particularly throwing shades of, should I say, indicting words to actually let the public or electorate know that each party or each candidate under each party is not capable of delivering his or her manifesto. Now, if we have not been politically aware, we will notice that as at last week, Diri Silva, former NNPC boss, was actually indicted, stating that he had actually overstayed his stay at one point in time when he was governor. Now, that was a case in court which has now been dismissed, taken to the apex court. Now, Diri also on his own part has assured the electorate that he is actually out to shine the light to make sure that the Bayelsans are no longer in darkness. We want to believe that they have been emancipated by the recent encounter between Diri and the former governor of Bayelsa State, Siraki Dixon, who has actually endorsed the incumbent governor. Now, there's nothing more than a father giving his son his blessings, because according to Siraki Dixon, in this write-up, former governor and senator representing Bayelsa West, Siraki Dixon, says he is confident that the incumbent governor, Douye Diri, will win the November governorship election smoothly. Now, those are the words of the former state governor and serving senator in the Red Chamber. He said the coast is clear for Diri and his deputy, Lawrence Erujakpo. Now, Lawrence Erujakpo is I will say, as they put it, is a new kid on the block, but we should not underestimate the new kids on the block. They are always out to show signs and wonders. He also declared that they were sailing to victory on the platform of the PDP. Now, being a dominant state for PDP, Dixon, who had not participated in the governor's second tenure campaigns since it started 3 weeks ago, spoke from his Turora home in Sagbama local government area when he hosted Diri and his campaign team. Now, it is only normal that one should begin to know where he or she is coming from, because the political voyage in which Douye Diri began is something which so many people disapproved of in 2019 when Siraki Dixon actually brought him out. It was a case of, okay, he was actually being imposed on the people, but when in fact that was not the actual sense of the whole matter. Now, the race is on between the PDP, the APC, the Labour Party. Of course, we have Udengs from the Labour Party, who is actually giving them, a shadow check and balance, let me put it that way, from behind the scenes in the whole political arena. Now, in this political ring, we will now know who will now emerge the heavyweight champion to man the seat for Bayelsa State. Now, in the next phase of the show, we will be talking about the shades of accusations or claims thrown by Diri Silva at Diri about his performance. It's not just about contesting for the state alone, the number one seat alone. It's actually looking into why these people should be throwing shades of blackmailing statements at each other. Join me in the next phase of the show. I'm Odiawa AI. This is Viewpoint. Greetings, viewers from across the globe. You're welcome to the show Viewpoint. You're welcome back to the show. The show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Douye AI for Veegil Media. You're welcome once again. Now, in recent news happenings making the rounds, we've been monitoring the rift between the two dominant parties in Bayelsa State, the PDP, People's Democratic Party, of course, with its contender and flag bearer, Douye Diri, and the APC candidate and flag bearer, Timmy Silva. Now, Timmy Silva has actually thrown some knocks on Douye Diri. Now, according to the APC candidate, the All Progressives Congress candidate in Bayelsa, Timmy Silva, as at last week, commended the former governor of the state. And this is as a result of the visits between the visit between Douye Diri and Seriki Dixon, former governor of Bayelsa State and also senator, as we speak. Now, in his commending the former governor, Silva, who was cheered also by the crowd, drove through the Sagbama Road, which was constructed by the Seriki administration. Now, also in his campaign speech, through shades of knocks on Douye Diri to stop taking credit for a road constructed by his predecessor. Now, in my own view, in my own opinion, this is not necessary. He should actually concentrate on providing his manifesto to entice the electorate, not throwing some shades of propaganda to tarnish the image of his contestants. Because in my own view, in my own opinion, that would be a more mature way of playing politics. Diri, who is the People's Democratic Party candidate in the November 11 polls, had during his campaign in Veegil in southern Niger local government berated Silva for claiming that he, Silva, constructed the same road to a level before Seriki Dixon, completed it. Now, the former governor stated that he, Diri, completed the road and insisted that Silva did not pour a shovel of sand on the road when he was governor of the state for 5 years. Now, this 5 years issue is still a subject of debate, even ongoing in courts. Now, Silva, however, said that we are grateful for the former governor in his own speech for executing this very vital road he had written in gold and left a legacy to speak for him through time. We must give the credit to whom credit and accolades are deserved, particularly to Dixon. Governor Douye Diri is to appropriate the road to himself, which is actually ruled out according to the APC contestants. Now, the APC governorship hopeful also hailed the people of the Ekama for, of course, that's what he should do anyway. Why? Because he actually needs their votes. Now, it should not be a case of you arriving there and then you just get their votes and then you do not deliver. Because as we speak now, he wondered why Diri had developed the habit of re-inaugurating projects executed by the predecessor. Now, this is in my own view, my own opinion, a process of just witch hunting and just throwing all shades of cheap blackmail. Because in my own view, in my own opinion, there should be continuity, and for continuity to be perpetuated now, it therefore means that a particular political party now should continue with the manifesto it actually began with. And every manifesto is always backed by an ideology. Now, the former Minister of State for Petroleum of Resources observed that without the sacrifice and hard work and foresight of Dixon, Diri would not have become a governor. Now, it's not just the fact that he is saying that, should I say he's actually exalting or exonerating Seriki Dixon and also belittling Douye Diri. In my own view, my own opinion, there seems to be some personal squabble between both contenders. Now, we have not even talked about the Labour Party candidate, Udengs, what he has to say, because he has actually been silent. I think probably maybe mapping out his own strategy for the whole campaign. Maybe in news or recent happenings or current happenings or ongoing happenings making the rounds, we should be able to find out and know his own stand concerning Bayelsa State. Silva also recalled that the PDP candidate failed the popularity test in the 2019 when he was roundly trounced by the APC and would have fallen again in November for mismanaging over 3 years in governance. Now, these are just, should I just say, he's just coming up with statements and all sorts of accusations or allegations to actually thwart his efforts in his campaigns. Now, it is up for the Bayelsans, who will be the electorate come November 11, to actually take their stand and not fall prey to statements that will lure them away from their civic responsibilities come November 11. They should actually know their candidates, not be partisan in the sense, okay, yes, this is, or maybe they are actually induced in some manner by maybe whatever means necessary that they must actually comply with what is actually imposed on them. This is an era where the electorate should be able to take their stand when they are in any polling unit, or whether they are representing their wards coming out, whether at the state level, local government level, or even at the federal level also. Now, he is also insisting that the people of the local governments, like every other part of the state, had suffered untold hardship under the cluelessness and misadministration and debt and way anger to vote the government in. These are just statements that should not just come up. Now, on another note now, in recent happenings, also, the Ijaw elders and also Ijaw youths and also groups in the Ijaw area are actually speaking out to make sure that there is actually a conduct of peace during these elections taking place, because there has been some perceived atmosphere of violence, and it won't be healthy for any electorate to come out in an unfavorable climate to vote on that day, because history has it that lives are lost, ballot boxes are stolen, or maybe the elections are either inconclusive or are annulled or have to be rerun at the end of the day. Now, worried by the threats of violence in Bayelsa State ahead of the November 11th governorship election, a coalition of Ijaw interest groups has condemned the spate of politically motivated killings in certain parts of the state and urged all parties concerned to eschew violence and maintain peace during and after the polls. The group advised that the youths should not allow themselves to be used as tools to kill one another for the interest of politicians. A statement signed by the secretary of the Ijaw Elders Forum, Mr. Efie Ribena, on behalf of the coalition, enjoined by the people of Bayelsa State, not only to sell their votes. Now, the youths also should make sure that they, on their own part, should thrash or dump in the trash can this issue of they being used as instruments of violence. Well, these stalwarts, or not just stalwarts, because I might be generalizing here, the mischievous stalwarts in each political platform engage in all sorts of ill vices to make use of the youth, because they are more energetic to exert their energies on all sorts of ill vices that should be done. And then they are bought over cheaply with material gains that might not even last or have a long-term effect, but short-term effects to even kill their dreams and dampen whatever is around them as regards their morale. Now, what about their own children? This is food for thought, which we should wine and dine about. Now, these political stalwarts who happen to be engaged in all sorts of mischievous vices, their own children, where are they? Then the ignorant ones who are actually being used for ill vices. Why? Because they are not furnished with the enlightened knowledge to know that these acts are injurious, not just to them, but also to people around them in the long run. Now, these short-term gains, which they are actually clamoring for, have long-lasting effects. But when we choose to be sane enough to comply with this statement, actually dropped by the Ijaw people, which not just the Bayelsans should actually stick to or adhere to. We're also talking about people in entirety at large here. We are particularly disturbed by the recent politically motivated killings in certain parts of the state. Now, I had mentioned that earlier on. This is just to reaffirm the statements which they actually stated out, to make sure that not just the electorate is heeding to their pleas. They are also weighing out or airing out their burdens to also the contestants, the politicians out there. But will they listen? It is our hope that all these pleas by the interest groups doesn't fall on deaf ears in the long run. I'm Douye AI for Veegil Media. I draw the curtain on today's episode. Thanks for watching.